This is the FUN Fun Token 1 year overview reading for the year of 2025. It's currently January 26, 2025, 6:57 p.m. Eastern Time. Fun token at the time of this reading 0.0036434. Not even a penny. And the shuffle video for the Fun Token reading was created on October 3rd, 2024 at 5:08 p.m. Eastern Time. So what we're going to go over in this video, if you're new to the channel, we're going to cover the week-by-week chart behavior. We're going to give you information about the overall theme. We're going to talk about chart behavior around the highest high for the year, chart behavior around the lowest low for the year, and then we're going to give you one of the best trades that we see as well. For the timing of the highest high and the lowest low and all of the trades, all that stuff is part of a subscription. If you're interested in that, I'll show you guys that at the end of the video. But most importantly, guys, make sure to follow through on that rule of karma. If you're making money from this information, we're expecting that you're following through on that rule of karma. It's the whole purpose of the channel, really. So much love and appreciation to everybody doing that. And let's get into it. Oh, and then also, guys, anything that I talk about, like resistance, support, big move, anything like that, I'm talking about that on the scale of a 1-year chart, unless otherwise specified. So the overall theme and behavior, the Strife card as the theme card for the year is pretty. It's a pretty mixed year. So basically, what you see with the Strife card is this rally into a key resistance level. That'd be resistance on probably a multi-year scale, but at least a 1-year chart scale. And from that resistance, we should break down with consecutively lower spikes up on the way down. At some point, there should also be a substantial amount of sideways rotation, and then a big move off of that sideways rotation along key support on a 1-year chart scale. Behavior around the highest high, we have a notable trough a notable trough on a 1-year chart scale within close time proximity to the highest high, likely meaning that there's either a big move out of the trough into the high, or there's a big move out of the high into the trough, something along those lines. Behavior around the lowest low for the year, we have a failed attempt to break through key resistance, followed by a decline through key support. And we'll look at that in more detail as we progress through the reading. Now, if you're new to the channel, also, it's important to understand that we're going to go through these timeline cards, week by week chart behavior, but SO Meta's main focus for the prediction is going to be the sequence of chart events. Right, so sometimes the timing will be off. Usually the timing is right on point, but there can be cases where it's like plus or minus 2 or 3 weeks of wiggle room. And the reason for that being is that not each card's energy will necessarily line up perfectly with 2 weeks of time. So it's important to understand you want to follow the sequence of chart events as outlined by the prediction. Timing is more of like a guideline, even though usually on point. So the early part of January, we should have. It looks like there's some price swings, and there's a rally along a diagonal trend line, breaking through a horizontal resistance, meaning another resistance, and it looks like that rally is halted by a decline through key support, as outlined by this purple, the dark purple correlation. An important price level, maybe even some like flattening out near the low for January, and a very opportune moment near the January high. By that I mean it'll stand out as a really significant trade opportunity amongst other opportunities throughout the year of 2025. There's likely to be a significant move near a high at the beginning of the month, and then we have equal amounts of bulls and bear inflow and outflow as we exit into as we progress through the second half of the month and into February. Right around the cusp of January, February, we should have a notable move to the upside. Oh, and before I leave that out, the January high will also be within close time proximity to an important trough on a 1-year chart scale. Now, there's a rally in early February, starting on the cusp of January, February, and an attempt to establish support near a peak or high again, probably at the second week of February. A prominent peak that'll form with a sharp decline off of the February high. We may be tempted to chase the rally into the February high. I would advise not to chase that rally. Off of the February low, we have a breakout, and then bumping along resistance sideways. Very likely we have a lower price level in later February than we had on the cusp, even though there's a big move to the upside in early February. Hard to say, but we've got mixed behavior. or first off, in the later part of February, bumping along resistance sideways, maybe breaking through, bumping along resistance sideways some more. And the February high will also be a prominent peak on a 1-year chart scale. Mixed sideways behavior within a channel in early March. There's an important range on a 1-year chart scale highlighted at the March high. Near the March low, we should see sideways rotation, then a big move out of the low, and then more sideways rotation along key support. An unexpected move to the upside in the later part of March, likely out of a trough, a significant trough on the 1-year chart scale. In early April, we've got a period of volatility that ends with a fast sudden move higher. The April high will have a decline off of that high down to and through support to meet another support, and then we'll rotate sideways along that support. The rally out of the April low will offer opportunity to open up a short position or close a long position, indicating that we're very likely going to see the same low that we have in April. We're very likely to see it again in, it looks like, May. So be careful for that. And then there's an important technical price level on a multi-year scale highlighted in the later part of April, and a prominent trough on the 1-year chart scale. Out of a trough there towards the first week of May, huge move to the upside into a peak, and then a full retracement of that move back down into a prominent trough in at the May low. Unexpected move out of that that retracement to the downside. Unexpected move to the upside, and a devil card in the later part of May. Prudence card at the May high. So I advise to be very, very cautious if you're trading in May. Likely there's some tricky behavior near the high. The devil and the prudence card combined together, that's really not an ideal moment to be trading. I would definitely be very careful there. The Magus card in early June likely offering some sort of exit from a trade we'll look at in more detail, but the Magus card is usually a pretty big move. It looks like there's sideways rotation, big move higher into a peak around the cusp of the second week of June, and then important support level at the June high. Usually can be relied upon, but it's important support, so we'll establish support there at least momentarily near the June high, and that'll be important on a multi-day scale. Volatility, a period of volatility in the later part of June, and a sharp drop that'll stand out in that period of volatility with a peak right on the cusp of June, July. And it looks like a trough mid-month. The June low will form near a prominent peak on a 1-year chart scale, and the June low will also form when we decline to and through support to meet another support. We'll do some sideways rotation, attempting to establish support at that second support level, and then we'll break down through more supports into the June low. We successfully find support in July. That could be to the upside or the downside. Let's see what we have here with the cards. Looks like it's to the downside. We successfully find support in July. And then there's a prominent peak that'll form at the July high after we find that support. Probably sideways rotation at that support level, and then a fast sudden move higher, ending that sideways rotation, taking us into the high. Multiple decline through multiple support levels into the July low, and then a lower peak, a peak at the end of July, lower than the peak in maybe like the second week of July, but a peak there that we should sell off from pretty notably. A notable reversal in early August with a fast sudden move higher in there after revisiting a support level that we recently met as an opportunity. Bearish price swings and or a sharp drop off of the August high. A notable move to the upside out of the August low, and it looks like we rally into resistance, and then there's some mixed behavior in the later part of August. A prominent peak there. We revisit a prominent peak on a 1-year chart scale there within the midst of symbiotic behavior there in the later part of August. 3 crisscrosses back and forth through the same price level in early September. Looks like a lot of price change, like back and forth going on in early September. Likely we go from a trough in the early part of September into a high mid-September where we do sideways rotation, and then a failed attempt to break through key resistance that we expect to break through, followed by a sharp decline back into lows right at the end of September. A rally into key resistance and a high, a high for the month of October, rally into that resistance at the high in the first week, and then a sharp decline out of that resistance into a prominent trough on a 1-year chart scale for the October low. Multiple failed attempts to break through key resistance in the later part of October. A overbought crest that will sell off from through multiple support levels forms at the October high, and then it looks like a decline through multiple supports into a significant trough, a decline through multiple support levels in early November into a significant trough and opportunity there at the November low, which will also be within close time proximity to a prominent peak on a one-year chart scale. Unexpected move to the upside in the later part of November. It looks like it turns into a breakout out of a trough, and then we push the upper end of a range higher to reach for the November high mid to late month. There's a resistance level in early December that's highlighted that we decline from and then return to it at least once in the month of December, and if not in December, then very likely in the 2026 January. Decline out of the December high, increasing with momentum moving forward in time. A lot of price change covered in the later part of December, and the December low will form when a rally along a diagonal trend line ends with a fast sudden move higher, taking us to a prominent peak, and then a decline from that, a decline through that diagonal trend line with increasing volatility on the way down. A lot of price change in the later part of December. It looks like probably to the downside from a peak. Now, throughout the year, guys, I'm gonna be covering this in total access subscription on our Discord channel as I see trades come on. I'll be adding those to the Discord live Discord trade alerts. There's also a live TradingView chart link that will be updated as things progress throughout the year. That's all stuff that you get as part of the total access subscription on our website, Tarot for Traders. Stay tuned. I'm going to give you one of the best trades that I see for the year 2025, and then after that, I'll show you guys how to get that subscription. If you're serious about trading this information, it's really, really important that you have those services. They're game-changing services. Interesting. All right, so we had a lot of price change from a high here in the very beginning of January, and that was probably the full card opportunity right there. We just basically been doing downward. That's that purple correlation to the hangman card here, just kind of like the halting of a bullish trend, decline through key support. And right here in the later part of the month, we should see sideways fluidity, equal amounts of bulls and bear inflow and outflow, with a notable move probably back to price levels over here. Let's see. If you're new to the channel, when I draw ellipses on a chart, these are expectations of where I expect the price to be at that moment in time. When they're green, usually an indication. It means that I'm expecting to see like a peak or a trough form, usually a reversal to the downside. And when it's a red ellipse, it's the opposite, usually a trough or a low rather than a peak or a crest. A trough or a low when you see a red one. So right now what I'm doing, guys, I'm drawing where I expect to see the high for February take place. Now, when there's two ellipses overlapping each other, the darker area is the highest probable location to see the price level go. So something along those lines. And that's an example of the type of thing that you see on the live Discord, on the live TradingView chart links. So we copy this and we add it to the Discord channel. All right, so as far as a trade, guys, basically all the way down here, coming right up on the end of the month, I'd say that where we're at is entry. If we go any lower, which I doubt we do, we probably, remember, the January low is where we kind of like flatten out. So my sense is that this is probably an entry point for a long position to close out of the long position in early February. All right, and so if you've got the total access subscription, then you'll know how to exit. But that's basically what I'm seeing is there's this big move to the upside, back to the levels of the highs. I would exit out when we enter into this price level here, or into this range of this smaller, darker green ellipse. It's possible we go higher, but a smart trader isn't looking for max gain; they're looking for most reliable exit. So the way that you get that subscription, guys, in those game-changing services, not to mention the timing of the highest high and the lowest low for the year, and all of the best trades that we see throughout the year with those services. You want to go to our website, tarotfortraders.com, hover over Order Now, click on Subscriptions. Total Access is our premier subscription. Gets you access to the 1 year paid version of the 1 year reading for all of these tickers and crypto, as well as a bunch that haven't been added yet, and 2026s as they come out, as well as the Discord trade alert channels for each of these and the live trading view chart links. All that is part of Total Access, $500 a month. If you're interested in paying for the whole year at once, we would give you a phenomenal deal. And much love and appreciation. It also includes all of the day-by-day chart behavior for these tickers in crypto and the S&P 500 stuff as well. And that's fun for 2025, my friends. Let me know what you think by hitting that like button. As always, make sure to follow that rule of karma. You know where to go. You know what to do. Blessings to all my angel investors. I'll see you guys on the next one.